Bib, illum jiġi 17 ta' Ottubru 2022. Għal min jara fil-futur, dal-video bħalissa għaddejja il-gwerra fil-Ukraina u xi disodejn ilu il-Russja attakkat diversi reġjuni xi 13 il-wieħed. Kollox, u da għamlitu wara li ġie attakkat il-bridġ fil-Krimea. Issa, għan id-diskuti u nitkellem waħda fuq l-affarijiet li hemm fil-gwerra, ma da ħanortu ma kemmu importanti li wieħed ikun informat bl-affarijiet li kien hemm għaddej. Għax jista' jispiċċa f'periklu li jaqqas biss ikun jaf qabel ma daħal fih. Eżempju ċar huwa, pereżempju, li dal-aħħar li ma kienx informat fuq il-pandemija u fuq it-tilqima spiċċa ħallas qares evidentament kif irrapportaw eluf ta' nies fuq website li kien hemm u ġiet ristretta. Hija trajda għax hemm tgħid kemmu importanti li wieħed ikun informat u kemmu periklu għal min qiegħed imexxi li n-nies ikunu informati, speċjalment meta jkun qiegħed għandu l-intenzjoni li jqarraq. L-Unjoni Ewropea waffqet l-aċċess għal RT u Sputnik, żewġ platforms tal-medja fuq l-internet u da m'għandniex aċċess aħna biex nisimgħu il-ġiex tiqniebel, imma għal min aċċess hemm għal min irid jarah u issa fil-każ nitfa' l-istruzzjonijiet ta' kif wieħed jista' jagħmel biex ikollu aċċess għal din is-sors ta' informazzjoni. Issa jiena tal-karattru li jekk tiġi dik il-punjata Ursula tiġi tgħidli li ma nistax nara xi ħaġa, nispiċċa iktar li nara ma nafx intom kif intom u daw ma jridunix nisimgħu in-naħa l-oħra għax għandhom x'jaħbu. Mela, ma nafx semmejtix di, issa bħalma kienet il-pandemija li dħalna f'balla periklu, qegħdin hemm balla periklu qiegħed qudiemna u għandna il-Prim Ministru, il-Gvern, bl-oppożizzjoni b'kollox qegħdin jabbużaw mill-poter għax bħala nies li huma rappreżentanti tagħna suppost jaraw li l-interess tagħna jiġi l-ewwel u qabel kollox. Mela, ejja naraw x'qalet Roberta Mezzola meta kienet kellha intervista mas-CNN.
Leaders strongly condemning Russia's missile attacks. European Parliament President Roberta Mezzola tweeting, "What is happening now in Kyiv is sickening. It shows the world again the regime we are faced with, one that targets indiscriminately, one that rains terror and death down on children. This is criminal. They will be held to account. Ukraine will win. Europe will not look away." Let's get more from Roberta.
Mela, irrid nixbet l-attenzjoni li da l-attakki li saru intlaqtu 13 il-reġjun. Hemm rapporti differenti ta' kemm intużaw missili u xi 40 missila skont kif irrapportat mill-Ukraina, smajt rapporti oħra li intużaw xi 200 b'kollox inklużi id-drones u hekk u mietu 10 min nies. Xi jumej ilu waqa' ajruplan militari probabbli bi ħsarat fil-Malta fuq ir-Russja stess u dan l-ajruplan biss qatel 13. Issa dawn l-10 li minn nies li ġew irrapportati mejta qasem informazzjoni jekk kienux ċivili jew inkella kienux għandhom xi jaslu mal-militar. Mela ejja nkomplu. Bossu dawn qegħdin jarawha bħala sfrakass. Mela ejja.
Mezzola, she joins me now live via Skype from Brussels. You say Europe must not look away. At this point, how should Europe respond? You've seen the consequence of these attacks on Ukraine, indiscriminate shelling of civilian areas. What's the European response?
Well, I think today has been one of the toughest days to wake up to, where we see, as you say, and with the images that we see, indiscriminate killing of women, children going about their daily lives. This is a clear escalation by a panicked autocrat that has gone to the capital city of a country that is not only fighting for its territorial integrity, but fighting for the fundamental values of life, of democracy. This is on our continent, and it's up to us to respond. We have already done a lot with sanctions. It's clearly not enough. The Ukrainians are now asking for military help, and the European Parliament stands with that.
So, it stands with what? That's my question. Air defences?
Well,
I mean, what? Putting jets in the sky? What is the response? I mean, Putin has clearly identified that he has no limits at this point.
You are right. First of all, we need to see the sanctions packages that we have adopted, 8 so far, which ones are biting, which ones need to be tougher, which countries are not implementing them, and the European Parliament has called for more military equipment to be delivered to Ukraine. Ukraine has very specific demands, whether it is with tanks, whether it is with heavier military systems. The member states have that equipment. They can come together and contribute with the weapons that are needed. If they coordinate, and this is what we're asking for, then no one member state needs to be, let's say, have a dent in its military capacity, which is being questioned in other governments, in other countries. But once we have that equipment, why not deliver it to Ukraine faster? If anybody thought that fatigue could set in and that we could look away, these images from today, the casualties that we see, how can we look away? And this European Parliament is one that is saying, let's make sure we do whatever it takes. If Europe doesn't answer, once that Putin did not stop, he's clearly not showing any signs of stopping, how are we going to respond? If our response is not proportionate to the escalation, then we're just going to keep seeing him killing more people.
Let's be quite clear. I want you to explain to our viewers what sort of teeth the European Parliament has at this point, because you've talked about countries that are not implementing sanctions. You've talked about countries who aren't contributing the sort of military hardware that Ukraine needs at present. These are decisions being made by European countries. You don't agree with them. You're telling me the European Parliament doesn't agree with those decisions. So let's start calling them out. What are countries doing now that they could do more of at this point?
Well, this is exactly the point. If there are tanks that are owned by member states, if they can be delivered to Ukraine, then let's be able to deliver them. We have already shown unprecedented unity, but now we have to do more. And that means that we show solidarity between each other, but Ukraine is asking for our help. And if they're asking for tanks, then let's be able to deliver them. That is something concrete that can be delivered, that can be done. Member states could do more, they should do more, and I think if today's images are telling us and the actions that are showing us do not make those, let's say, member states go forward, and you said what can the European Parliament do? This Parliament is made up of elected politicians from all member states. They are being told by their citizens, we are being told by our citizens to do more, and that's our responsibility. We are adopting decisions for quicker financial assistance to be arriving at Ukraine, to Ukraine. We are talking from a solidarity and actually on the ground perspective as a parliament, helping the Ukrainian parliament. I'm in constant contact with my counterpart, the Speaker of the Ukrainian Parliament, passing legislation, taking decisions in order to add people on the sanctions list, giving more money, and ultimately, after today, let's get more weapons given to Ukraine.
Which countries could and should do more? Can you be clear, please?
Yes, I think all countries could and should do more. There are countries that have the tanks that have been identified by Ukraine. Let's say there are 2,000 tanks that are present in the European Union that can be given, and those, at least a few of them, should be sent to Ukraine. Ukraine is asking for them, and the European Union has the facility to coordinate what it gives to Ukraine. I know the High Representative is very much working on this. I know from a military perspective we can do more, and I think those countries, I would say all the way from Portugal to Romania, can deliver those weapons that are being asked for. And let me also be
the
clear,
impact this is having on the European country. Go on.
Yes?
Go on.
These are countries that have already shown unity, and they can continue to do that. I was, let's say, I continue to be encouraged by that unity. I know that Putin's interest would be...
That is what I want to pursue with you, because we talk a lot about unity, but the EU Commission President has urged further unity. Have a listen to what von der Leyen clearly worried about that as we head into a very cold winter, had to say earlier.
Time and again, the single market has proven to be our single best asset in times of crisis. Therefore, we need to preserve it. It's of paramount importance that we have a level playing field and that we avoid fragmentation and distortion.
She is clearly concerned that Europe isn't playing together at present, or certainly has concerns that it won't play together going forward.
Well, the point of fragmentation is exactly what Putin wants. And I completely agree with the President of the European Commission in urging member states and their leaders to come together. There is an interest, let's say, on the extreme fringes of the political scene that would like that instability to be exploited. We in the European Parliament are here to take decisions in order to make sure that whatever help, whatever assistance can get to Ukraine does actually get there. And we are not going to be the ones, let's say, waiting for others to take the decisions before we do. I was encouraged last week, even though it's difficult to see these decisions being taken, especially in the background of an energy crisis, but by prime ministers saying we need to continue to get our act together, to come together, to show that unity. What we've seen today shows that Russia will continue to escalate further. Are we ready, is the question, to make sure that we can respond proportionately? And I think that this is a day when we have to be able to answer that question. Otherwise, not only would we be disappointing the Ukrainians, but we'd also be disappointing our citizens.
Huwa ċarissimu li il-Parlament Ewropew u l-Kummissjoni Ewropea qiegħda tipprova torganizza militarment l-intervenzjonijiet ġo l-Ukraina. Issa ħandu l-waħda għall-Kostituzzjoni. Issa di il-Kostituzzjoni importanti nerġa' nfakkar li dan id-dokument li l-leġislazzjoni daw il-liġijiet jagħtu balla poter il-min jiġi elett. Imma il-poteri li jkollu partit jew pajjiż jew individwi jew ministri jew il-gvern huwa marbut biex jimxi mar-regolamenti li hemm imniżla fil-Kostituzzjoni. Jekk ma jagħmilx hekk ikun qiegħed qed jabbuża mill-poter. U jkun qiegħed biex tajtek jisraq il-pajjiż minn taħt idej il-poplu li ġie elett minnu stess. Mela, ejja naraw il-Kostituzzjoni. Di importanti, di mhix bil-ta' il-Kostituzzjoni bla bla bla. Daw qegħdin ipappuha u għandhom balla poter f'idejhom imma marbutin ċertu kondizzjonijiet u jekk mhux jobdu ċertu jobdu u jimxu ma daw ċertu kondizzjonijiet, daw qed jabbużaw mill-poter u daw qed jiġu illeġittimi qegħdin hemm dawn. Mela, ejja naraw x'tajt il-Kostituzzjoni. Għal-manu, għala laqta. Mela, ma laqtix ta' skużawni waħda ġbin. Skużawni waħda ta' Għawek tajt ara, Malta hija stat neutrali li jrid attivament, issa da qiegħed it-tielet kapitlu għaw. Laqqas, mal-ewwel wieħed qiegħed tara immarkat 1, issa daw ikunu fl-ordni ta' importanza. Sewwa kapitlu jiġi kollu. Fl-ewwel regolament insomma, l-ewwel regolament 1, 2, 3 tara, mela. Malta hija neutrali, hija stat neutrali li jrid attivament jilħaq il-paċi, is-sigurtà u l-progress soċjali fost in-nazzjonijiet kollha billi iħaddan politika ta' non-alijament u jaffrotta, jirrofta, jirrifjuta li jipparteċipa f'kull alleanza militari. Issa jekk l-Unjoni Ewropea issa smajtu għat titkellem, ħanibda minn hawn, smajtu għat titkellem lil Mezzola. Mela. Mela. Jirrofta, jirrifjuta li jipparteċipa f'kull alleanza militari. Issa, ħanaraw id-definizzjoni alleanza xi tfisser. Sa alleanza tfisser a close association of nations or other groups formed to advance common interests or causes. Mela, tfisser assoċjazzjoni viċina ta' nazzjonijiet jew gruppi. Magħmula biex iħaddnu interessi komuni jew jikkawżaw affarijiet komuni. Issa jekk mill-kliem ta' Roberta Mezzola ma jindikax ċar li l-Unjoni Ewropea issa f'daqqa waħda qed tikkoordinizza militarment biex tiġġieled mar-Russja, ta' ovvja. Il-pożizzjoni ta' Malta, il-ħbiberija ta' Malta fl-Unjoni Ewropea ġiet kontra il-Kostituzzjoni, barra li kontra l-interessi tal-poplu Malti. Issa daw jiena qiegħed innota li hemm l-Ewropa kollha li il-prezzijiet taż-żejt u tal-gass li qed jirċievu id-dar tal-kont tad-dawl sploda. Għandna il-Ministru, għandna ex-Ministru Ġermaniż għal ħana nsibux ta' da.
Number 2 million, I guess, at this point, the former German parliamentary president and finance minister Wolfgang Schäuble.
It shouldn't be taken badly. If you put on an old jumper and then a second jumper, you'll be fine. Electricity is, of course, very important, but sometimes it may not be there. So you should always have some candles, matches and a torch at home. And of course it's important to know where they are if it suddenly becomes dark. You see, the state is not just something that delivers all sorts of things to citizens, like a kind of supermarket.
You gotta love the simplicity with which these European elites view the problems that they have caused. None of them in Germany apparently have the courage to stand up for their own industry that's being decimated by Brussels' bloc-wide sanctions, but they sure don't lack any ghal when it comes to standing up against their own citizens and basically telling them to just suck it up. Are candles also going to power the German and industrial engine that drives the entire EU? Maybe you really think so. After all, these are the same folks who wrongly figured they could cut themselves off from cheap Russian gas for Ukraine and power the German economy purely with green energy fantasies. What carbon footprint do those things have? Have they assigned one yet? That's coming, I'm sure. Schauble also suggested that Germans shouldn't turn to government to solve inflation and energy problems. So I guess they should just count on government to create those problems. When you get a glimpse like this into the mindset of European elites, is it any wonder that citizens across Europe, including in Germany, are already taking to the streets in protest of exploding costs of energy and daily living, and even demanding a withdrawal from NATO as French protesters did last weekend? If the European establishment was actively trying to boost the European right wing, they really couldn't go about it any other way.
Mela, kont qed ngħid, da hemm kriżi. In-nies qegħdin jipprotestaw mal-Ewropa kollha minħabba partikolarment barra l-olli tal-ħajja, il-prezzijiet, il-kontijiet tad-dawl u tal-ilma. Issa daw il-Ġermanja għadhom kif għamlu sabotaġġ fuq pipe tal-gass kisrulu, għatawlhom l-arterja għall-enerġija u l-Ġermanja xub ma qalet xejn. U da hemm l-Ewropa kollha effettwat hekk. U hawn Malta il-gvern qiegħed jagħmel tajjeb. Suppost issa mela issa il-prezz ola kif rajt issa nafx xogħol iktar 150% jiġifieri ġie jiswa jekk kien jiswa darbta jew nofs tikħallas. Ola 150% ġifieri. Issa il-gvern jekk dal-ispejjeż dak kien il-kont tad-dawl, il-gvern Malti qal qiegħed iħallas dawl. Il-gvern Malti. Issa il-gvern Malti ma ħaġib il-flus minn għandek. Sellef il-flus bil-bank bl-interessi. Il-biċċa xogħli li gass u enerġija ma hemmx jekk ħadd issussidjadi għax imbagħad taf xi jiġribek. Jekk wieħed li kien jiġih il-kont ta' 1,100 euro ħajfranka 150. Għax ħajkun ħareġ 150 il-gvern. Min jiġih joqgħod bil-kukku għal-frisk fis-sajf u kien jiġi ħelf fix-xahar il-kont tad-dawl ħajfranka 1,500. U mbagħad il-pis tad-dejn min ħajsofri l-iktar. Iż-żgħir da il-gvern qiegħed jitħaq bin-nies iwasslu saw qegħdin. Mela għandna l-Ewropa kollha qiegħda fi kriżi u ħabba il-prezz taż-żejt. U hawn Malta il-problema qiegħda tinħebba taħt it-tapit biex il-Maltin ma jkunux jafu l-effetti tal-gwerra kif huma eżatt. Qegħdin b'gideb sfaxxat jagħmlu lir-Russja ipinġu lir-Russja lil Putin bħala bniedem perikolus, mentri fil-fadda qegħdin l-Ukrajini attakkaw power station nukleari tnej, waħda ġo l-ex Ukraina u l-oħra ġo l-Russja. Zaporozhye, Antikon, u l-oħra f'Kersk. U da, jekk joqtuhom, diġà kellna id-diżastru ta' Ċernobil wasal sal-Italja. tal-alfu għal-Belarus, l-Ukraina qabiża u niżel l-Ewropej. U da d-diżastru qiegħed jipproteġi lill-Ewropa milli jgħaddi minnu Putin. Għandna 4 ilu Zelenski talab l-Amerikani jattakkaw lir-Russi preemptive qabel bil-nukleari. Da qegħdin ipinġu lil Putin bħala perikolus. U hekk nibża' li daw qed jagħmlu hekk biex 4 oħra jgħidu għandna bżonn il-protezzjoni aħna militari u jdaħlu n-NATO għaw jerġa'. L-infrastruttura barra li għandna l-infrastruttura tal-armata ma nafx niftakarhomx kollha, diġà hemm l-infrastruttura lesta biex ikun hawn espansjoni. Għandna Manuel Island ġiet darwa u tħallit vojta. Issa tiduru fejn kien hemm l-isptar tal-ġdid. Il-barracks ta' għajtu fiha qiegħed vojt. Kien ħal-ferħ għajtu fiha stess fejn kien jintuża mill-Ingliżi, mill-NATO vojt. Għandna Rikazli vojt. Għandna il-White Rocks fejn kien hemm jittafgħu l-uffiċjali vojt. Għandna l-isptar imbieħ l-Amerikani. Għandna l-ambaxxata Amerikana qiegħda ħdej runway. L-infrastruttura qiegħda hemm hi. U jiena qed nissuspetta u qed nibża li daw qegħdin jitfgħu il-problemi u l-konsegwenzi tal-gwerra taħt it-tapit ħalli n-nies ma jkunux jafu, ħalli ma jkunux informati, bħalma ma kienux informati taħt il-klima. X'inhu ma konsegwenzi tal-parteċipazzjoni ta' Malta fl-involviment tal-affarijiet? Qegħdin jikkesksu n-nies u jgħidu li r-Russja qiegħda tkun aggressiva biex mbagħad joffrulna il-protezzjoni ħalli daħlu l-arma taw. Daw, taf kemm il-għajda di, xi 7 snin. Jekk taraw il-videos tal-dik. U daw kif qed jaħdmu l-Ukraina kienet armata. L-iktar pajjiż armat di kien hemm ftehim biex da kien hemm il-gvern kien hemm korp ta' stat magħmul mill-Amerikani, tajru l-gvern minn hemm u l-gvern il-ġdid beda jiddisgħamel il-lingwa Russa illegali. Insomma, għala l-inkwiet u għamlu 8 snin. Iffirmaw trattat ta' paċi Franza, il-Ġermanja, l-Ukraina u r-Russja mill-United Nations u daw 8 snin flok għamlu l-paċi daw ramawa sa' snina l-Ukraina biex tkun tista' minn għalihom iżarmaw l-Russja militarament. Di kienet armata sa' snina r-Russja u l-Ukraina u da faqawa. Issa qed ituhom l-armi il-ġodda sa qabel daw kienu qed ituhom l-armi kienet ramata armawa u bdew ituhom l-armi tal-ex Unjoni Sovjetika li daw jafuhom dal-affarijiet. Issa di Mezzola bdiet tgħid li jridu ituhom it-tankijiet tal-gwerra. Il-tank tal-gwerra mhux billi tidħol ġo fih u taqbad tispara, qed xi 6 xhur titrejnja biex tużaħda, da jekk titfal xi ħadd. Di ma tagħmel sens ta' xejn. Da meta wieħed tara kif qed taħdem kif qed jaħdmu l-Ukraina għex, da żarmawhom. Qatlulhom ġa xi mit-tefja anka anka min jiġġi l-soldati m'għandhomx, taf x'qed jagħmlu qegħdin jiġbru n-nies bil-lieva, bin-nisa b'kollox, u kien hemm min qal anke nisa tqal qed jiġbru bil-lieva, qed jitfgħu fuq quddiem. U bis-soldati li fadal fuq wara jew daw il-Nazzisti fuq wara u mridu lura jisparalu. Hekk qegħdin jaħdmu daw l-Ukreni u daw kollha taħt il-kmand tal-Amerika biex tan-NATO. Issa, Mezzola qalet li fit-tweet li mhux ħajħarsu lehom, ħajqbgħu jgħinu sa l-aħħar. Daw se jagħmlu issa, hemm din l-Armata tal-Unjoni Ewropea ħajaqbdu jiġbru n-nies bil-lieva biex jaħdmu l-istess bħal met jaħdmu biex jużaw l-Ukreni. U l-bullshit li s-sanzjonijiet mhumiex parti mill-gwerra u Malta baqgħet newtrali, da kien pjanat fir-rend ġa semmejtu darba fir-rend report. Mela jiena ħanagħlaq, nirringrazza minn qabel lil min ħajxxerja da u l-min ħajagħmel il-like mhux biex nidher ma il-like jgħin fl-algoritm sejn biex jidher iktar. Abbonaw jekk jogħġobkom fil-channel ta' YouTube u għandi backup channel ta' Odyssey għax kif jekk Alla jrid ikun effettiv daw ħajqu li ħalqi u bħalmat kif tista' wieħed jara l-aħbarijiet li għaddejjin mill-Russja ħanitfokkhom fil-links tal-video. Ħana ħbib. Araw x'inhu għaddej, ħbib. Araw x'inhu għaddej informaw ruhkom għax bħalma radawh minn ma kienx informat it-tibqima u bil-pandemija tibdarba qegħdin fl-istess periklu. Ċaw ħbib, jiem it-tajjeb.